What's good, my people? We are back again for another one on this here Mystelics reaction channel, guys. If you're new to this here channel, guys, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can pretty much get all the videos as they come through right there and then. Now, guys, we're gonna be reacting to KIRK Franklin cursing out his son for some. Well, we'll get into that, guys, and what that actually means to Dominica. What? How can I connect the two, guys? You'll understand what I'm saying as this video goes on. Let us check this out right there and then.
The gospel singer KIRK Franklin has been beefing with his estranged son, Carry-On. Now, recently, Carry-On exposed an audio of a phone call he had with...
Okay, before you get into that, let me bring that back.
The gospel singer KIRK Franklin has been beefing with his estranged son, Carry-On.
Now, guys, keep in mind, KIRK Franklin is an influential gospel artist, an individual who not just sings, but also lives the life that he speaks about. But there comes a point in time in life where you realize that you try your best with certain people, including family members, but all of a sudden, they tend to bring you to a place that you don't normally tend to be. And this is the whole situation that has happened. I think it happened about 2 days ago. And of course, some individuals from the United States asked me about this very situation. What I think about this situation right there. So I want to combine them and let you guys fully understand the full scope of which I'm coming up from.
Now, recently, Carry-On exposed an audio of a phone call he had with KIRK, and KIRK was cussing him out.
So he reached a point where he could not take it anymore with his own son. He couldn't take it anymore with his own son. And this is the audio right there.
Okay, if you think I'm bringing this paper, let me say it like this. Wake up. Start getting you need to get your skinny mother back out the way before I put my foot in your...
I put it there.
I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Shut the f*** up. I'm old.
Wait, hold up! That is your father right there. To the point where you make your father get out of his character to start cursing your black is white. I remember the Bible says, if your parents start cursing you, woe be unto you, eh? Because if your parents put a curse on you, that is it. And your father cursing your black is white like that, brother. And you telling your father you dare him. Boy.
Start getting you need to get your skinny mother back out the way before I put my foot in your... I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Shut the f*** up.
And you telling you what? I'm just putting myself in that situation. I don't have a kid. But my little cousins, if my little cousins were to ever decide they... What? Boy. I know mama them wouldn't want me around again because I sure will break some food. I will break something on there. Much of this violent challenge, I want to cuss me out. I raise you, feed you. Feed you. Put food in your stomach and you cursing me out. And daring me to. Oh, KIRK,
I'm old. I will break your neck if you ever disrespect me. I did it.
That's where KIRK ended the phone call.
He just hung up the phone.
Anyways, guys, what I think was happening there, I think he tried to trigger his father into becoming or get him out of his character. Because it's clear that he was triggering his father. And KIRK would not just come and start cursing you up for no reason. Right? KIRK would not just come and start cursing you up and feel like you need to curse you or whatever. Unless you actually did something that would really push him out. Especially understanding who his son is, and of course they did not have a good relationship, so he definitely tried to push him to do something. That's my perspective on this. He tried to push him so he could record his father to put him out there. So it seems like the son had some intentions to try to do his father some ill will by doing this. Now, some on the other side, KIRK is a Christian, and people be like, why is KIRK cursing and all this kind of some things there? And you know the Bible speaks about turning the other cheek and this kind of thing. I'm sure that KIRK, this guy is gonna be 33 years old in July or whenever, right? I am sure that KIRK has turned the cheek numerous times on his own son, man, to the point where he couldn't take it anymore. And this is the reaction right there. The people want to say, oh, Christians is... Guys, you have to understand, Christians are also human beings. Everybody out there is human beings. They always have faults on this kind of things, you know. I'm not saying what KIRK did was right. It was definitely wrong. But sometimes when you push people to the edge, they will end up doing things that they don't normally do. They will end up doing things that... And the thought... I don't want to put ladies on blast. The thought just came to mind. Maybe there's a reason why the thought came to mind. Sometimes ladies tend to push guys to the brink. And they willfully know you. And they know they're pushing guys to the brink until something has to happen. Now, of course, it is the duty of the guy to hold himself back. Or to excuse himself from situations like this. Especially when some women trying guys. Anyways, guys just try women too. Let us not get it twisted. But in this situation, women came to mind. In this way. Because you guys like to do this stuff right there. Now, in regards to the whole situation dealing with KIRK. He also apologized right there. But before I get into that, his son had some things to say right there. And this is why I kind of put things into perspective, considering the son was saying a number of things that caused me to think, oh, he had this planned. Anyways, the son's name is Kieran. And of course, this is what he said. This is why I'm done. No father should speak to their children like this. Children should not disrespect their parents either. Disrespect them over and over and over again, and think that your father should put blows on your back. That is what it should you to do for me, you know. But your father should shoot some heavy blows on you when you was younger. I suspect that was missing when you guys were younger. I don't know, but your father should have given you some serious blows back in the days, boss. You too freaking disrespectful. Anyways, if I had any issues, it's because of this type of treatment. What? So what happened to the other children? Why the other children not like that? Why is you that like that and the other children not like that? So apparently you get a different treatment from the other children, it seems? Or you were so disrespectful that you had to become the estranged son of KIRK Franklin them. It's interesting. Anyways, of this type of blah, 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 blah. Hanging up my face. Hanging up in what? Hanging up in my face. No apology, no comparison, no effort. But it's you that do... Anyway, stop telling me to go home to my family. I don't even know where they are, where they live. That's probably because you left. That's probably why. And of course, you have been doing things that would trigger them. They even have to bring in a family therapist on your backside to try to level out things, but things that never solve. I didn't want to do. Of course, you do want to do this because you put on the audio. I probably won't release the entire recording. KIRK also spoke about we'll get that in a while. Because it's too embarrassing that I'm even dealing. So you said it's embarrassing for you, but you put it on the part where you allowed your father, because you disrespecting him, to get out of character, and that is what you're putting out. It's interesting right there. I pray my father deals I pray, no matter what people think, I pray my dad deals with his hatred towards me. Why would your father hate you? Your father doesn't hate you. He has got the family therapist to try to help the whole situation. And it seems like you are the ones causing all the struggles right there. Okay? You are the one causing all these things. I don't feel safe around him at all. Well, you gone already, so that's your business. And when the parents put thing on you, you in trouble, eh? Anyways, this is KIRK's what do you have to say right there?
Many of you know I have an older son named Kerryon Franklin. In May, he'll be 33. For many years, we have had a toxic relationship with him as a family. We've tried for many years through counseling, through therapy, to try to rectify this private family matter. Recently, my son and I had an argument that he chose to record. I felt extremely disrespected in that conversation, and I lost my temper. And I said words that are not appropriate. And I'm sincerely sorry to all of you. I sincerely apologize. I want you to know as a father that during that conversation, I called the family therapist.
Hold on, guys. Somebody just came in. Anyways, let me go back a little bit.
Called the family therapist and got that therapist on the phone to try to help. He never played that part of the recording. I'm not perfect. I'm human and I'm going to make mistakes and I'm trying to get it right. Please keep me and my family in your prayers.
Definitely, guys. Definitely. As a Christian man, he did the right thing by coming forward and saying he's apologizing. But of course, we must understand that individuals are still human beings at the end of the day. Some people want to say, oh, Christianity have the highest, holy. No, guys, still human beings that are going through the struggle. That is why the church is so important, guys, because the church is not a place for the best of men. It is a hospital for the spiritually sick individuals out there. It is a place where people can mold, even the pastors. That's why some people want to tell me about priests and this kind of things. They've been infallible and it's nonsense. Nonsense is human beings at the end of the day. And therefore, when they make mistakes, especially when they make mistakes and they know they make mistakes and they're correcting their mistakes right there, we must still understand human beings are still human beings at the end of the day. It is not a good thing that he did. No, he didn't. It was not right, but it was a mistake. Clearly, his son put him forth in this regard. And of course, he did it. Sometimes people push us to the edge. They push us to the edge, and this is what brings me to Dominica right there. Especially understanding where the Prime Minister seems to be bringing Dominica. Pushing Dominicans to the edge. Even some of his own supporters are coming out and saying, hey, we need to take a look at this. This individual, for example, made a post saying, Dominica is a lovely place to live. Definitely a lovely place to live. Indeed, the beauty and the majesty of Dominica, it is a wonderful place for people to come and visit, go to the river, take a nice relaxation in the Sulphur Springs. Relax, build up yourself, my brothers and sisters. Dominica is indeed a lovely place. But it is a graveyard for what? Dreams, ideas, and aspirations, guys. I keep asking the youth out there, where can they go in Dominica? What do they see themselves doing 10 years from now? Not one answer I'm hearing, guys. No, I haven't. God is my witness. I have not gotten an answer yet in this here Dominica. I haven't gotten an answer yet. The very supporters of these individuals, I don't know if this guy changed or whatever, or he decided to put this out there because he's feeling pressure on his own. But Dominica is a lovely place, Mark, we start to live. But it's the graveyard of dreams and ideas and aspirations. This is why I tell people, go overseas, make all the money and come back. So you can retire and come back and then you spend the money and thing in Dominica. But sometimes, even understanding who is the leadership there, I'm thinking to myself, no guys, stay where you are, man. Don't come back. Because these people tend to take taxis and doing all kind of nonsense with the taxis. Even bringing people, not bringing people, but even taking Dominican money to rent buildings for them to stay in, even though they have their own house. I remember Rosie Douglas. Rosie Douglas used to go up and down the place, up and down, back and forth. Rose Opossum, doing his thing. Not saying that he could have just stayed in a normal thing in Roseau, but he used to go back and forth because he understood how could he then take money from the people when the people are not doing well, and the people were doing much better back then than today. Can you imagine now that people need apartments and these kind of things there so that they can actually survive, man? They have to go to financial center for them to get help, man. And people seeing these things and they still putting. I had to talk to one individual earlier on today, man. But the very situation dealing with Dominica, man. Dominicans, I tell you, we've seen what's going on. And you mean to tell me at least minimum over 15,000 people decided to vote for the very same people who are keeping them oppressed. That is remarkably shocking to me. He mentioned this to me. I couldn't disagree with him. Anyways, this is what somebody else stated right there. Let me make this a bit bigger. This person is saying, I know I will get victimized. And the person is not scared anymore. And I know there will be negative comments coming. But I honestly, respectfully do not give a blank. I do not give a blank, the person is saying. They don't care anymore. Because they are fed up. They have been pushed to the brink where they have to start coming out now in public and start saying things need to change. Take a look around us, guys. Are we happy as a people, man? What exactly are we happy about? Are we happy to go and beg? Or are we happy that we are making money for ourselves and then feeding our family because we are independent people, not dependent on the government, guys? What exactly are we happy about? Look at the faces of the people, brothers and sisters. Pass mouth. If you think I'm joking, pass mouth, bro. I tell you, boy. I remember one time, I tell you, boy, one of the ladies, boy, she was always happy during election. Always happy in election, and she used to see me and she used to say, look, they have things in her hand because the government was giving them things during that time. But now, look at the lady face. I myself feel, let me leave that there. I tell you, boy. Look at the faces. Look at the innocent children, man. I'm hearing people who I always assume had it all complain about how hard it is to be living here these days. Check the people of Maho. The Maho people were complaining the other day. And the funny thing is, a lot of people want to complain, but they cannot complain because they want to get a little something here and there, or they have been given a house or given money, so they have to stay quiet. I mean, people don't understand what they're doing themselves, man. When you push people to the brink, tell you. And when I talk about these things, people think, guys, Dominica doesn't affect me, man. But I'm seeing what is going on, bro. I remember back in the day when I used to talk to my classmates, man, and everybody used to laugh at me. Little man, Margie, you say, what nonsense you saying there? Stop talking nonsense. What UWP can do, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the Margie, the people used to tell me. Today, the same classmates meeting me and tell me they wish they had listened. Because they would never put their vote where they put their vote. They wish they had listened. Even yesterday, I was talking to, tell you, boy. People don't want to listen, that's fine. The same way warning people with the Rona, be careful of that thing. That thing is danger. But hey, continue. Go ahead. Look, they're banning the very thing across the world that they brought to Dominica. But continue. Anyways, these days, businesses barely have customers. That's true. Go. Boy, let me not call people. Let me not call name right now. Coming in because nobody or very few have money to spend. Very few. What is the business? What is this striving businesses? We had Ross University here, brothers and sisters, and I used to correspond with them, man. Ross University there, and they didn't want to leave. But they realized for their own progress, they had to leave. 40 years in Dominica. 40 years to set up things, simple things. I want to put things back in perspective. Government playing games with them up and down, saying this and that, this and that. I know this. I used to correspond with them people. And then I hear people talk foolishness all over the place, man. And they boy, tell you, boy, people, boy. People are easy, the boy. Anyways, children cannot even go to some, what is that? Children cannot even go to some school, some days. I've heard mothers cry that they can't always afford to send their child to school. Even they have to depend on government intervention because the people have money. The people have money to do things, have to depend on government intervention. And that again, keeping the people quiet. Because if they know the government is then sponsoring their child to get a bus to go back and forth because their parents cannot do it, the parents going to stay quiet. It's a psychological thing that people don't seem to understand right there. But when push comes to shove, people will... Baby, it's hard everywhere. It's not hard everywhere. It's hard. Well, let me take that back. It's hard in certain types of things, but when it comes down to the elevation of human beings and the possibilities and the opportunities that they have, other places, they're doing much better. Even yesterday, I was talking about all the people that I know who left Dominica. Every single one of them is not to say without potential in Dominica, you know. Every single one of them in Dominica are doing well. They are doing well. Every single one of them I know who left Dominica is doing well. All of my friends, majority of my friends are overseas. Only I have like 2 or 3 friends who are still here. They are stuck here, it seems. I tell you, every single one I know who have done. So if the same potential was here in Dominica, I don't think they'll do well too. Why do they have to go overseas and do well? And then when they're doing well, people want to call their name. Hey, come down, let's have an interview if you want this kind of things here. Why can't we have it here though? Because the very people who are at the top are the ones keeping us down. But just like KIRK, someday people will blow. But take your time. And if you blow at that time, the question is it or will it be too late? Anyways. Okay. We are talking about Dominican Dominicans. No matter how many trips some of us may take or how many fete we attend, because sometimes we need the fete to release ourselves. That's why I don't understand why people just get drunk. People also get drunk for them to knock out their brain cells, for them to go and then wake up next morning with a hangover, and then they try to do it again the next weekend. I will never fathom this kind of lifestyles that people trying to live. I will never understand it. But then again, it comes with the pressure. Like Coffee say, under the pressure, not true. Anyways, guys, let me continue. Where was I? Blah, blah, blah. But no, problem still there. We're still struggling to eat and drink in Dominica. Thank God we have the farms in nature. The ground itself is taking care of us. Some of us who never believe we'd gone into farming go back into farming because we realize that we're not making money. Therefore, we still need to eat. And the ground God has blessed Dominica with is able to produce fruits. But people are... And sometimes you can't even afford to drink. Well, we can drink grills. We have fruits and all these things there. Thank God for the nature of the Caribbean. Especially the kind of things they're considering to be buying right now, guys. I see man selling shandy and this kind of things there for $2-3 in St. Lucia. Thank God for fresh market. They start selling it cheap too. But other places, $5, $6, sometimes $7 for shandy, especially in the night time. If you're going on whatever, $7 for something that costs $2-3. That's crazy right there in Dominica. Having to buy small plantains for $5 in Dominica. Land of provisions, and we are comfortable with that. The sad part is things only getting worse, and trust me guys, the same thing I used to say about 10 years ago, I see it today and people are seeing it themselves, what I used to tell them back then. And it will get worse, guys. You think it worse now? Oh, if you understand anything about economy and economy of scales, guys, you will realize how far going. They brought in the Haitians to keep the pick-up people quiet. The Haitians themselves are planning to leave because they realized they were tricked into coming into Dominica. Little Miami, not true? They come down there struggling. That's why you see how much people trying to leave. 70. Then previously, they had 60 something. 70 and 60, 130. 130 Haitians trying to leave Dominica for betterment. That doesn't tell you nothing. That they brought them to pick-up for the pick-up people to stay quiet after Ross left. Continue. The sad part is things only getting worse. It's true. It only getting better for those who are at the top. True or false? Remember about 2 years, 3 years ago, the PM had his own house. The different people had their own thing. Now you have Dominicans now, without much elevation in the economy at all, have to then be contributing for a man to stay inside a mansion. A baby mansion, but still a mansion regardless. I don't get it. But people will still, yay! Anyways. For the ones with the upper hand, while the poor stay poor. No, the poor don't stay poor, no, the poor getting poorer. Go around Portsmouth and look at the stores. And you will see that people were doing okay. They are struggling to keep. Instead of closing, they decide to close different areas to try to lessen them buying or spending more money. Tell you, boy, people doesn't learn, boy. Ah, boy. Well, the poor stay poor until they die making the rich fatter. That's what people don't realize. They're making the people at the top. This is why it's called an oligarchy. People think we live in a democracy. No, it's not democracy. We have been bled with the thought process of being democratic, of living in a democratic society. But there's a serious oligarchy going on top where the money seems to be going up and not coming down to the people. We earn all these billions of dollars in CBI and whatnot. Where the billions of dollars being spent in Dominica? Answer my question. Where's the billions of dollars that CBI produce? And it's rather interesting looking at that very same CBI thing where you're talking about job and job creation. The money seems to be going out to the other people out there. Remember, guy, 2 individuals, non-Dominicans, got $60 million and the other one got $30 million US. That is the same CBI program. Let me leave that there. Because people doesn't see, and some people are getting fed up. Well, it's time for you to get fed up. But the good thing is, it doesn't affect me. I'm just here to tell you guys. That is the whole point there, you know. I'm just here to tell you guys what you are allowing to do your own selves. Even the very election back in the day, I would not expect anybody, because you guys were feeling before, you know. But then somebody come and give you a little money and little concerts and all this kind of something there. And you felt like, hey, things are going to be, you know. And look at all you today. The very supporters of these people. Anyways, guys, what are your thoughts, man? Leave that, of course, in the comment box below. By the way, guys, I want to thank the Most High for another year. And, of course, definitely, guys, keeping on that vibe, man. It's interesting that I almost spent being locked up for another year. But hey, we are here and we do nothing. And I try to help you guys see. Help you guys see the truth. But it's up to you guys. Nothing in Dominica affects me. I already done study trend long time ago, so I could realize I need to get out there for me to organize myself out there. And thus, the internet was, of course, the way out for me. So, we'll see you guys in the next reaction.